Welcome to the weekly analysis done by yours truly. It's been so long since I've done one of these. Since I last checked, we got about 11 to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 par. 11 par. All right. The idea behind the weekly analysis is this may give you a few trading ideas. I'm going to give you the analysis, the breakdown from a swing trader's point of view. Some of you may not understand what that means. So let me explain to you what I mean. Generally speaking, whenever you get an analysis from somebody other than me or somebody that trades lower time frames, they may talk to you about those micro moves that happen, in those lower time frames. Unfortunately, I'm not going to do that. All right. I'm going to talk to you about things that are going to happen from the higher time frame perspective. All righty. I know this is not on the list, but because a few of y'all was playing with me earlier today, I'm going to talk about it. Let's talk about it. All right, here is a zone, supply zone, demand zone. If you are a CHF trader, you can take this trade. You can get in for a long for about 212 pips up there to that upper zone. All right. Now, if you just do this rough photo that I did now and have a 65 pip stop loss, this is still like a 3% gain. But, obviously, if you drop down to a lower time frame, right? You drop down to the lower time frames, you can get a lot better entry. Maybe you can even push this stop loss up a bit, to protect these swing lows. Maybe your entry could be down a little bit, but you can get a lot more bang for your buck on the lower time frame. All right. And I just took this trade to the beginning here. Obviously there's relative equal highs right here, which is always a draw for liquidity. And if you paid attention in class, you'll know that there are all these imbalances that need to be filled. So, you can probably get a lot better target point if you just fib this down move to the lowest point and you expect a retracement to the 78, right? Remember, I like taking trades at the 68, but you can probably trade this up to the 78. This is right where the relative equal highs are. We saw imbalances in here. We also saw imbalances up here. But, because this is technically a retracement, I would feel comfortable trading this, to maybe these equal highs, at least maybe to the 78. There are a number of different ways for you find your entry. So there's your bonus pair with AUD Chef. Uh, 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 uh. Um, yeah, yeah. All right. This pair here is on the rise, guys. It's on the rise. I don't think this is a part of it either, but because I'm trading a USD pair, which is GU, right? And maybe let me see if this clown pair is even on here. Alrighty, so AUD USD, it's not on the list, but it is a weekly order block. I think most of the USD pairs are potential for the order block. Okay, so if I'm trading this, I'm going to fib the candle here. This is a weekly order block. I would just fib the candle. I'll mark my golden zone here. Give me one of these horizontal rays. So I can throw it at the 78. Okay, let me take care of that there. I know many of you don't do this, but it's my weekly analysis. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to take this move from these equal highs down to the lowest low. I'm going to mark this zone here and the 78 here. Get rid of that fib. So I have price pulling back first, right? Coming into one of these areas. Then we can trade it up. The 50% mark is the 0.6583. Obviously, we can go a bit higher in here. We'll look for imbalances. We got a good chunk of imbalance right here. That's in your golden zone. This is a very, very attractive area. There's another imbalance right here, very attractive. So I would trade this with confidence up to 60.6638. This is what my, no, we're entering for a long, this is what my long position is. And in this case, I think we can hold out for 78, right? I will protect these lows down here. And then I believe we can probably get in and take this trade up 247 pips. And we can get close to a 7% return, 6.75. Right click, set you an alert. It says buy it. Go on and live your life, live your best life. Maybe this will happen. Wow, that alert didn't take for whatever reason. Okay, there we go. But yeah, you can go live your life. You don't have to worry about babysitting these trades. All right, there is AU. Think Cad Chef was on the list. Oh, we do have Cad Chef on the list. I don't even know why. I haven't traded this pair in so long. I mean, and why would anybody? But hey, to each their own. We got a bearish 2-week order block. So that means we got to buy up first. Oh, man. I want to look at a further out chart. I mean, we're at the all-time low level, you know. I will be okay with buying this. Me personally, I'm just not selling it. You always hear me say the only advantage you have as a trader is you get to pick what pair you feel like you have an advantage over. Order blocks do give us an advantage, don't get me wrong. But order blocks should not overrule the other general rule we have as traders. Do you sell? Do you sell at the bottom of structure, or would you sell at the top of structure? So that's what I'm talking about when I say I'm not down with this. Okay, so I already see a little bit of chalk here. See a good push up, right? This push up broke this high. I would look for it to pull down so I can hop in this bad boy for LONG, right? I would protect this swing low, and maybe you can look to take a trade, 62 pips, 75 pips. That pip count is just substandard to me. All right, there's some relative equal highs up here at the 78. If price does push to that area, I would look for it to wick those highs. So, you could quite possibly take this trade 100 pips. This is very dicey in my opinion. I would definitely take profit at the 62 and then leave a runner maybe to go up to that next level. Again, if you want to take cash shift, that's basically the trade setup that I would stick with. I'm not a great fan of that trade, just so you know, and it's strictly due to where we are in structure, right? We're at the bottom of structure. The buy move is great, but generally speaking, we use these order blocks so we can buy it up to sell it, right? So, if you want to sell, have at it, I'm not saying you're going to lose that trade. That's not all what I'm saying. I'm just saying for me, I don't have the advantage. So I'm not very interested. Okay, CAD Jappy. Let me erase everything on here. Look at the 2-week joint. We got a bearish OB. Weekly joint, we got a bearish OB. But we're just tapping into this bullish OB, which makes me nervous. Makes me nervous. All righty. So if you're in this trade, you're buying it up. Here's the golden zone. Here's the 78. Let's get rid of this. I drop down to the 4 hour. I really like this little setup. I like the fact that we pushed up. Maybe we broke something on the 1 hour. Maybe we shaking something. We broke this high right here on the 1 hour. So I would look for the pullback, and then we can get busy. Get busy on the buy. There's a zone here. So I'm definitely, if I'm looking for this trade, I got to protect about 20 pips. 20 pip stop loss. We looking for a push. I would probably think that it would push up to this breaker block up here. Which is about 139 pips, about a 6.8. Not bad, not bad at all. I like this trade setup. Again, add your alert. That way you don't have to babysit. You don't have to, be chart watching. You can go ahead and handle your business. All right. So, of course, there are other, there are ways you can take this trade on a lower time frame. But again, you're getting the swing version from the kid. All right. This says Euro CAD is next. All right. But I think most of the JPYs are going to be similar, right? Let me see the 2-week. You get a 2-week bullish order block on this. Guys, this is the type of structure. So again, maybe you're cool with selling it, but maybe you're not quite as cool with buying it. I mean, unless you're in it buying from somewhere down south, I'm definitely I'm not buying these at the top of structure. It's just not something that I'm going to do. Again, you can fib this candle here. Get your zone. This is done, quite a bit of retracement already. So, maybe this is not worth your time. For me, I'll pass on this one, but for some of you, this might be y'all's Garanimal, So if you notice, we pushed down, we broke these lows, trade back up into this imbalance, right? Trade back up into this imbalance. You should be able to short it from here. Protect these highs. And here's an imbalance. It was partially mitigated before, so it's kind of dicey, right? There's another untapped zone down here, but this would be a good zone, and it's right here at the 78. It's about 183 pips. If you protect these 69 pips, then you're only getting a 2.6. But I would submit to you that a 2.6 is better than a negative or a losing trade. Again, I'm not messing with this, but normally I don't. I don't normally mess with the shifts. With the shifts. Very interesting. This is a very interesting setup. Very interesting. All right, what's next on the list? EuroCAD. You can God's plan this trade here if you want. We have a great long and strong candle for the DAX, right? it doesn't have any pullback. It ain't got no punk in it, right? And I know you're not supposed to fib these handles if they don't have wicks. So, I would probably anticipate this even going a little bit higher up at the first of the trading session. And at which point you can extend this up, to wherever it starts wicking. And then just drop down, right? You're gonna drop down. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Woo. You would drop down to your time frame where you're interested in being a participant in this lovely trade setup. And just think about the videos that we watched today, and you can see where your trade would take you, right? If we just touched this imbalance right here, that would be 400 points. If we close this imbalance, which we're highly likely, that's 517 points. Kind of like the Dow Jones, right? So again, if you're not familiar with these indices or you're scared, you can always use the mini, right? The DAX mini. I think that's a great trade setup, but you got to wait for price to start turning around for you, okay? And if it's me, maybe I need to see a break of this low at 15,938, right? Maybe I need to see a break and a pullback, then I can get active for a short, right? Of course, I would protect wherever the high is, a few pips above the high, then I can get active for a short, and I could bring it down to close this imbalance, right? 481 points at that rate. Now that would be a nice little payday. Okay. All right. Because we're doing an analysis, I do want to look at the DXY. Okay. So if you remember, we ran up for like, I don't know, 8-9 weeks, maybe 12 weeks. Now we're pulling back. I left the fib on it so it could be our guide. You can see we have a ways to go, right? We still need to come down a bit. Let me adjust this fib here to annotate where our zone is. So we're not quite to our golden zone. And then if we pull it down further, which we probably should based off of some imbalances, right? If we look at the 78, there's an imbalance right here. So we probably should push all the way down to the 101 level on the dollar. Right now, we're at 103. If you look at it, we have a bearish order block. So we're going to expect the dollar to get stronger initially, which is the reason why all those indices and crypto and stuff should pull back. The dollar will pull to go higher before it starts pushing down for the week, right? Just so we're all on the same page, okay? And that means AUD or AU, NU, GU, EU will all do the opposite. They should push down first before getting stronger for the week. All right. So let us continue. This must be the God's plan trade. All right, ECAD, EuroCAD had a great push this week. Great push. We broke these highs, all right? At some point, I will expect a pullback, and maybe this week we'll start that pullback. But just for S&Gs, S&Gs are sugary games, guys. All right. We expect a pullback, right? We can kind of look, if I measured this pullback from here, if to the 62 is 156 pips. If it does bless us with a 78, it's almost 200 pips. If I drop down to the 4-hour, I see clear imbalance before we get to the zone. There is a order block here, so expect it to bounce, right? And then push down to fill the imbalances at the 78. There's a zone just below the 78, so I can see a scenario that we push to that zone before we make a decision on if we're going back to the top. I would surmise that we are going to go back to the top, but another great, in my opinion, trading opportunity once you get the chalk, right? So once you get a change of character, you can wait for price to give you, a target. You can hop in and trade this thing down south. If I look on the 1 hour, this is going very strong. So you're going to get a new candle. Maybe it will take out these relative equal highs right here. It's probably not a maybe to it. It's going to take out these highs. It'll probably come back. After it takes out the highs, it'll probably violate these lows right here. Then go back up to pick you up to sell down, okay? So be patient, wait for it. There's no rush. You should see it. You can put you an alert here. So when it breaks these lows, you can get ready to sell it. Okay. But remember, it should break the low and then pull back to wherever the imbalance that it left. So you can get in for the trade and you can ride this thing down south. Good trade set up for Euro CAD. All right, Euro Chef. Where they do that at? They got a bullish order block. I'm not even gonna play with Euro Chef. You know the deal. Fib it, wait for the pullback, take it up. It'll probably be about 3 weeks before it gets to the next level, which is about 38 pips. Let me see. 91 pips. Yeah. So if it goes 91 pips in a week, that's considered a pretty good move, I think. But if you need a slower pair, the CHFs will lace you right up. If you're at a level where you need a slower moving pair, any of those CHF pairs are probably a good pair. If you don't have a lot of confidence in yourself or in the strategy or in the, what do we call it? In the theory, and you want to test it out, use one of these pair. Fib from wick to wick, the same direction of the candle, open to close. Mark up your golden zone, mark up your 78. Me personally, I'm not taking the trade unless it hits at least the 62. And then I can take the trade to go north in this case. All right. She has EJ, Irk and Jerk. Oik and Joik. I'm assuming this is a God's plan. And it is. Okay, I can see the head and shoulders. Y'all can see it. Y'all can see it. Y'all see it. All right, let's look at this 2-week jack. Let's look at this 2-weeker. See what we got. Yo, what's up, Ma? Bam, bam. $50, $78. Drop down and let's get it. Let's get it. Okay. It's not a coincidence, I mean, y'all see it. Hopefully everybody is seeing this, right? You're getting your markups and it's taking you to the areas, where it needs to close the imbalance, where there is a zone, right? This is a demand zone right here. If you watch that imbalance video from the top of that red wick to the bottom, it's a zone. Price is going to come down, tap that zone, and go back up north, right? That's how you would trade this. And you can trade it to the top of this structure. So once the trade comes down and taps in here, you can take the trade back up 300 and some pips, 321, right? But from where the trade is right now, maybe it goes a little higher to clear this imbalance. Maybe not. I'm just going to act like it is going to go higher to clear that imbalance. The reason why I say maybe not is because this imbalance did not cause a break. This one did. We've pretty much filled it. So I'm just going to mark this bad boy here, not up there. Okay. But if it passes here in that first hour, then obviously this is your homie. That's your imbalance that you need to look at. If not, it looks like you can probably get a couple of hundred pips with a 5.75 aura. Okay. All right. So EU, GCAD, GJ. GJ is going to be the same thing, dude. All right. It's a little bit more lopsided, right? But it's similar. Similar. All right. This candle is more raggedy than the last candle. What do you mean, Todd? I mean, this thing is pulled back a great deal. So I'm going to say this again, and I'll just keep saying this until somebody in the back gets it. It's up to you to choose the trade that you have more of an advantage in, right? We just saw EJ, right? EJ would have given us, I don't know, 222 pips. If I drop down to the 4 hour in this particular trade, and I try to take a short from this same area, right? If I try to take the short from the same area, family business. They only offered me 135 pips. Yeah, I mean, I got a problem with that. Now, this is the 78, right? Now, price can come down here to this imbalance, and maybe it will, but we're just looking at the 78% pullback from that weekly candle until they give us a reason to think that we pulling back, right? And, you have to select what trade is set up for you, right? I can't select that thing for you. So please, please, please do the right thing. Do the right thing. All right, bullish order block on GCAD. This was a beautiful move last week, same way ECAD was. Fib the candle. Trade the pullback. I would trade the sell on this. I'm marking up this 78. I marked up the golden zone. In my opinion, it's especially great to trade the 2-week candles pullbacks, because generally speaking, those candles are normally longer. In this case, it's really about the same, right? But a lot of times the 2-week candle will be more long. So if you trade the pullback, sometimes you get a better move. Or let's drop down to the 4-hour, right? Imbalance at the golden zone. Order block, imbalance here, right? So we can probably expect it to slap into this zone at 169.31 for the buyback. Look at this area. Maybe it comes and creates equal highs here before it sells down. However you decide to enter this bad boy, you will likely get a pretty good ride down to this area. 164 pips. Maybe you could protect 25 pips, 6.44 hour. That's what I would suspect at least. All right, GU and NZD, CAD. Family business. All right, there's a bullish order block on EUR NZD that we didn't talk about. Fibit. This is one that I would most definitely sell. Especially if you're bullish, if you think this is going to buy, I would definitely sell this in order to buy it. I'm not looking for this. Well, maybe EN will buy, but I'm not looking for GN. I'm bearish on these bad boys. I do respect these order blocks though, so I would be less confident trading this pair than something else. If I had to choose between, choose a pair to trade that I'm 100% sure, this would not be it. Because it's a bullish order block. We're above the moving averages. I have to respect the fact that it's showing me bullish, but I'm definitely selling in order with the idea that I'm going to buy. Okay. For those of you who have been trading this, you know what it is. Okay. A few things can happen, right? Structure-wise, we broke this low. We came back up into the imbalance. We did not break the high. We dipped down, came up, didn't break this high. I expect us to sell, right? I expect us to get short. So if you get short, right up in here, right? If you get short in here, I do believe you can sell this down probably to this area at least. That's about 177 pips. I know the 78 is 236 pips. Just beyond the 78, there is another zone, right? If we break this low, which I'm biased for a sale. I don't, I'm still biased for a sale. I did acknowledge that that we could go up and wick this high, which we did, right? I'm just going to give you a case on why I'm still biased for the sale, even though everything is showing bearish. This monthly candle wicked the previous month high, right? We went up, we wicked that high. Now, there was a bearish order block right here. It's still a bearish order block that hasn't been violated. This last month candle tapped into the bearish order block. This month, we just went up and took out that high, and now it looks like price is pulling back, right? So I am a believer that we're going to go lower, and I am looking to finish this month bearish. And I'm basing that off of the higher time frame candles, right? So this is a 3-month candle that has a wick, a gravestone doji, which is saying sell. And then there's a 6-month candle. If you fib this candle, we need to hit the old golden zone of this candle, right? That would be my argument, at least, right? We didn't pull down into the golden zone. Now, I will acknowledge that from wick to wick, we've handled our business, right? We just didn't pull down to a discounted rate before we bought up. But I am thinking that we will get here, right? And it doesn't have to be in November. It could be here in December. But I'm looking for us to tap in here and then continue higher and maybe close out this imbalance. Okay. Just way too much information for people who don't trade on higher time frames. But I'm just telling you my thought process, my THOT process, because that's all I have. I don't have any justification, just a belief system. Okay. For Euro USD, I fibbed from this move down, right? We broke this low. Price is pulling back up. It's going through the golden zone. Here's the 78. Okay. If you look at the 4-hour jump, you can see imbalance in your zone, right? You can see imbalance here. Well, if you're on a lower time frame, you can see it. There's imbalance here, right? There's an untapped zone here, and there's imbalance here at the 78. All great reasons to believe that we're going to get up there. Now, this is last week's opening, right? I do expect us to pull back first before we continue to the top. So what you could do is just fib the candle. My eyes are bad, y'all. I gotta make this thing hurt. Fib this candle. You can mark up your area of interest. Mark up your 78. Delete that bad boy, drop back down. And you can see your golden zone is right in the middle of that huge imbalance. Your 78 is right here, which makes sense because really from the top of this wick to this red candle is a zone, right? So price could tap into your zone. I'm interested. I would short this, and I could probably short it for almost 200 pips. Now, naturally we got to wait for this bad boy to turn around. So at the first hour, you really won't know, but I have a sneaky suspicion that it will be at relative equal highs, right? Somewhere at or but right before this line. again, the first hour of trading, we won't be able to take part of anyway. So it is what it is, guys. All right. Thank you for not having any questions. NZD CAD, the US 30, and I'm not touching USD Chef. All right. Let's talk. All right, let's just do the US 30. I think we talked about it a bit on the call today. All righty. You can feel this candle, which I already did. Drop down. You got about 500 pips of space just to your golden zone, right? All this stuff is pretty much taken care of except for this unmitigated zone right here. So it may push down here, but because we're in a bullish market, I wouldn't try to hold it past this imbalance, right? Once this imbalance is full, I would wait for a chalk, and then I would get in for a buy. To me, that's a beautiful trade setup. All the indices should pull back first, and then more than likely look to go higher. All right. Appreciate you for hanging out. That will do it for the weekly analysis. Let's make this money.